There are plenty of reasons to level right now. It can be to experience the new zones Nazjatar and Mechagon, or maybe you just want an alt to jump into the new PvE and PvP meta. Bookmark this video because you will be coming back to check all the gear, enchants and paths you need to take to level your character up until 120 in 8.2. Hey, I know a lot of people have leveled so much that they might know most of the stuff that's going to follow. But I'm willing to bet there are very few people that know everything we have included in this video. The first few things you need are add-ons, and only 3 of them. Azeroth Autopilot is by far the best one, which will make your entire journey a lot easier. NPC scan is good when you are hunting or just passing by rares, since rares give a lot of XP. And handy notes specifically for Mop and Draenor treasures because again, the treasures grant you almost a quest's worth of XP. Now let's get into the good stuff. Regardless of what you will be leveling, there are a few things that you can get and apply to every class. You might need an alt to either craft them or you can buy them from the auction house. The first thing you want is the Shimmer Scale Scuba Suit that you can craft from leatherworking. This lets you swim with 100% swim speed increase. Can work very well in underwater zones or dive to the bottom of the lake quests. Have enough of these and you can shave minutes off of every underwater quest. Next up, the all-reliable Goblin Gliders made by engineers. These will let you glide from high places and they work incredibly well when you cannot fly in the zone. They also work in combat, which can be an incredible time saver. Note that if you are playing a demon hunter, you won't need this, so go suck an onion. Get the gun shoes next, also from engineering. I never knew about these until I was doing the research for the guide, and I would like to mention that I've been playing this game all wrong. What are these good for? 2 guns attached to your feet full. What are they not good for? Sprints and general get out of jail free cards. Dying takes time, and taking time is not efficient. Also on the dive in the water subject, you should get the Fell Slate Anchor. This baby will propel you to the bottom of the sea because, let's be honest, yours and my flabby arms can only get you this far. You need speed! And to pair nicely with this, get the Ley Stone Buoy to get you back up. Same argument, speed. Next thing is the Drums of Fury. This is basically a bloodlust of 25% haste instead of the default 30%. This should be pretty self-explanatory. You want this in those Kill the Elite Dude quests. Of course, if you have unlocked bloodlust as a shaman, mage or hunter, then you good. You can also get the Elixir of Detect Invisibility to actually detect stealth mobs. There are quests where you have to do this, and using this can make the difference between completing the quest in 2 minutes and 10 minutes. These little changes don't seem much, but when you start adding them up, they end up as hours of saved time. Last but not least, Drought of the 10 Lands, the 10% XP potion account-wide that you can buy with 5 service medals from the Warfront vendor in your main city. You should have enough service medals to buy a crap ton of these. All of these items are universally good, but we can check some of the more niche things that you should get based on the class you will be leveling. When leveling a strength class, ideally you want to choose the best spec for leveling. Those are Fury, Retribution and Frost for Warrior, Paladin and Death Knight respectively. First you start with the heirlooms, which are 99% similar for all 3. The first few pieces you can buy from the guild vendor found in the capital cities respective to your faction. There you can buy the Burnished Helm of Might, the Worn Stoneskin Gargoyle Cape and the Burnished Leg Plates of Might. These will have some requirements based on your guild's activity, and if you've been in a guild long enough, these requirements should already be met. Otherwise, try to join a well-established guild where you can buy all of these. The next few pieces are so-called free, in the sense that you don't need anything than raw gold to purchase them. You can find them in the Hall of Explorers in Ironforge for Alliance, or on top of the Orgrimmar Gate for the Horde, since Undercity's no more. The pieces you'll want are the Strengthened Stockade Pauldrons, the Burnished Breastplates of Might, the reforged True Silver Champion as your two-hander, or 2 of Blood-Soaked Skullforge Reaver as your one-hander option. Oh, and don't forget to get 2 of the Swift Hand of Justice trinkets, really good options. Lastly, the next ones are a bit harder to get, but not impossible. The Manari Training Amulet is a necklace reward from the table missions in Legion, specifically the Argus ones. You won't have much control over whether you get this particular mission or not, which is called Assault of Felfire Armory, but chances are that if you've played Legion long enough, you already have this unlocked. The next one is the Captain Sanders Return Ban from the WoD Garrison mission For Hate's Sake, the naval version. Again, a tricky one to get. I haven't gotten mine yet, but it's the best XP ring for the first slot. The second XP ring will be the Dread Pirate Ring, which is won in the Stranglethorn Fishing Tournament. These are not the be-all end-all, but if you want the best of the best, you know what to work for. Second major thing you want for your character are enchants. There are enchants you can make, enchants you can buy, and ideally, if you will be using them, your leveling speed will be improved significantly. Keep in mind that to maximize their effect, some of them do not work beyond a specific level, and some might work only after a specific level. This is the nature of the beast, so we go with the flow. For your helm, you won't have much, as in anything, but starting with your neck, get the Mark of the Hidden Satyr for some damage increase, Greater Tiger Fang inscription for your shoulder, and Gift of Haste for the cloak. You can replace stat-specific enchants with another stat equivalence if you so desire. Next up, your chest enchanted with glorious stats. Glorious! Your pants with the Angerhide leg armor, and your rings with Seal of Haste or Crit, again depending on your stat preferences. Next up, weapons. Warriors and DKs can dual wield, and usually you don't want 2 of the same enchants. At the same time, DKs have their own enchants, so I will list a few of them, whichever one you like you can get, because some have some level requirements and restrictions. Elemental Force seems to be the best one the earlier you can use it. Crusader is also a good one that works until level 60, while Quick Navigation scales with your level and is good always. Lastly, we have the Exceptional Strength enchant for the Bracer, or the Greater Haste as an alternative. Both should be good to start with. On gloves, get Superior Haste, and on the belt, get the Eternal Belt Buckle that offers you a socket until the item reaches level 104, with the boots using minor speed. Agility users are split into mail and leather, and to get it out of the way, the specs you want to be using for leveling are as follows: Beast Mastery for Hunters, Enhancement for Shamans, Windwalker for Monks, Outlaw for Rogues, Guardian for Druid, yes, the tanking spec, and Havoc for Demon Hunters. Going to the guild vendors found in major capitals, you will be able to buy the helm as the first piece for both armor types. Same with legs, all having a specific requirement based on your guild's activity. The cloak, however, is universal for all agility using classes. The next pieces you get by simply visiting the heirloom vendor in Ironforge, Hall of Explorers, and Orgrimmar, Hall of On Top of the Gate, because Horde is a bunch of savages. For the chest, you just get the Death Dealer Breastplate for mail and Shadowcraft Tunic for leather, easy peasy. For the weapons though, each spec has a different option, with the Hunter being the only ranged getting the Charmed Ancient Bone Bow, with the Shaman and Rogue getting 2 Massive McGowan Maces, Monks get 2 Dalrend's Sacred Charge, and Demon Hunters get 2 Skullforge Reavers. Lastly, Druids get the Burnished Warden Staff, because Druids are cooler. The trinkets are the same for all of them, which is 2 of Swift Hand of Justice. The last pieces are similar to the strength ones, with one exception, and again, if you skipped here, these are a little harder to come by. The neck piece will be the Manari Training Amulet from the Legion Order Hall mission Assault of Felfire Armory. The rings are 2, lol, imagine that. One of them is from the naval missions in your WoD garrison, the Admiral Taylor's Loyalty Ring, while the second one is awarded from winning the Stranglethorn Weekly Fishing Event, aka the Dread Pirates Ring. The enchants will be almost the same across the board, What will differ will be the weapon ones, clearly, since they all use different weapons, and others might differ in what stats they provide. Starting off with the neck and shoulders, you will get the Mark of the Hidden Satyr and Greater Tiger Claw inscription, which has level restrictions, but these will be your best choices. For the cloak, you take either Gift of Haste or Gift of Crit, while for the chest piece, the Glorious Stats will still be your best option. On your legs, you will add the Shadow Leather Leg Armor made with leatherworking or with gold on the auction house, as most of these will probably be for you, which is perfectly fine. On the rings, you'll get the BFA Seal of Critical Strike and or Seal of Haste, which scale with your eye level. For the weapon, again, depends on the class. The Hunter should use the Incendiary Ammunition, while most DPS specs will favor Elemental Force twice, since apparently it would be your best damage option based on maths, the elusive elements of our universe. The Demon Hunters stray from the formula with the BFA Quick Navigation and the WoD Mark of Warsong because now Demon Hunters are cool. On bracers and gloves, you have options of stats. I would recommend you take greater agility for the bracers and superior haste for the gloves as a default. Lastly, the belt gets the Universal Eternal Belt Buckle, which has a level cap, so watch out for that. But until you reach it, it's a nice socket addition you can have. And for the boots, sadly, minor speed is the only good option. And with this, we can visit the last section, cloth. The 3 leveling specs for the 3 cloth users will be Affliction for warlocks, Shadow for priests, and Frost for mage, and thankfully they all use the same heirlooms and enchants, so let's kick it off with the heirlooms. The first vendor you will visit is the guild vendor. If you skipped until this part, know that you might have to acquire certain achievements to buy these, but most guilds already have these achievements by default since they are naturally unlocked as people play the game. Nevertheless, the headpiece, leggings, and cloak are all purchasable here and all pretty much mandatory for that extra XP gain. It might be tough if you are guildless, but hey, this is a good reason to join and be a part of one. It's an MMO after all. From the normal heirloom vendor, you will buy your next pieces with gold and no other requirements. The vendors are in Ironforge, Hall of Explorers, and Orgrimmar, Top of the Gate Explorers. You'll buy your Dread Mist robe here, the Dignified Headmaster's Charge for your weapon needs, and the Discerning Eye of the Beast as your trinket. Lastly, your leftover slots will be filled by some more difficult to attain. The Monari Training Amulet is gained from the table mission in Legion, specifically the Assault on Felfire Armory. I understand this is the 3rd time I am saying this, but the point of this section is that people might skip strength and agility sections, so live with it, I suppose, and otherwise, thank you for actually watching me say most things 3 times now. The first ring will be the Signet of the 3rd Fleet, which drops from the naval mission in your WoD garrison. A bit more difficult to accomplish, but worth it nonetheless. And the second ring is the Dread Pirate Ring, which drops from the Stranglethorn fishing event that goes on every Sunday. Moving on to enchants, the neck is the same as all other classes, meaning the Mark of the Hidden Satyr. Your shoulders will get the Greater Crane Wing inscription, while your cloak can have the Gift of Haste or Gift of Critical Strike. For your chest piece, get the Glorious Stats as the general best option, while the pants will get the powerful Ghostly Spell Thread, another level restricted one, but for when you can use it, it will make a difference. The rings will get the BFA enchants, Seal of Haste or Seal of Critical Strike, whichever favors your spec more, and the weapon has the Elemental Force. The bracers will get the Super Intellect enchant or the Greater Haste one, up to your discretion, and the gloves get Superior Haste. The belt has only one good option, being the Eternal Belt Buckle for the sockety goodness, and the boots have the Minor Speed enchant. This covers the heirlooms and enchants, and remember, you can upgrade your heirlooms and should, if you want them to be working after certain level breakpoints. We also upgraded our channel by moving on to Twitch. If you missed us or want to join the funsies, follow us on twitch.tv/MarcelianOnline or simply check out our Twitter because everything we do goes through there, and hey, everybody's doing it, right? Now that you have your consumables, let's hit the road and start leveling. The best and most efficient way to level is by doing quests. Up until level 20 there isn't much to talk about, it's a quick process, barely anything you can optimize where it would be worth your time and gold, plus allied races start with level 20 anyway, so that's where we will be starting as well, and ending with level 60 first. The first zones you will go to is Westfall for Alliance, which will end up with a quest that sends you to Stormwind. Do not turn it in just yet, it scales with your level and its reward. For the evidence collection quest you can queue for dead mines, and if you have a tank and healer spec, rejoice, it's a hell of a lot faster. Once you are done, you should be around level 25 and heading to Duskwood. Duskwood is a really good XP zone, and the general consensus is that everything here is good except the Spider Lumps quest, which you should skip. After Duskwood you move on to Stranglethorn Vale. You start by picking up the quests in the Alliance hub, then move to the Nesingwary camp and pick those as well. Start with the Crocs, turn in the quest, then move towards the Panthers and Tigers and continue on this path until you reach the quest Sea Raptor, which is too long and inefficient to do. You stop here and move on to Redridge Mountains. Some of the quests in Redridge can be a bit difficult, but following the normal path, you will reach the last quest you will do, which is Yowler Must Die. After you finish this one, fly to Stormwind and turn in the Westfall quest as well. After this you go to Loch Modan and do all the quests you can find there. Loch Modan is a fairly hefty place and should keep you busy a while. When you are done here, move on to the Badlands, then Searing Gorge and finish with Burning Steppes. Nothing specific for these zones, just do everything in them, and by the time you are done you should be level 60 and ready for the next part. For the Horde, yeehaw! You start with a Jara until you reach level 30. Do all the quests there, and with all the consumables you should have around 15 minutes per level time sync. After Ajara, move to Stranglethorn Vale and do all the quests there until you reach level 42. At this point head out to the Western Plaguelands and do all the quests there as well, after which you switch to Eastern Plaguelands. If by the time you are done with Eastern you are not level 60, then head on to Silver Pine Forest, which is really close by, and quest there until you get 60. From 60 onwards, the path for both factions will take you through the same zones. You'll go to Northrend at this point, specifically to Borean Tundra, and pick up and do all the quests until you reach 67. You can skip quests and still have enough, so if there's a quest that seems really annoying and out of the way, skip it, but don't overdo it. Move on after to Dragon Blight, which should give you enough quests to get you to level 70, at which point you want to get your epic flying skill. You continue in Dragon Blight until the quest line gets you to the east with the Scarlet Crusade quests. These are a hassle, so skip them and go to Zuldrak. In Zuldrak you want to quest everything you get until you reach the Amphitheater of Anguish. This is a tougher quest which can be done, but you might want a friend to help out if possible. After this, go to Orgrimmar or Stormwind. Now you should find a mage to make your portal to Vale of Eternal Blossoms, where you want to set your Hearthstone. This will come into play later on. After that, go to Shatrath and head to Nagrand. Once you are here, do all the quests, all excepting the Demon Hunter one that starts with He Called Himself Altruis. Once you are level 80, you can move out of Outland and head to the next best thing. That's Mount Hyjal. Start a questline and do everything you get your hands on, which should take you all the way to level 84-85ish. At which point you Hearthstone to Pandaria and head on over to the Jade Forest. You should quest here until you reach level 88, at which point you fly to Kunlai Summit and quest until level 90. At 90 there's only one option, and that is Draenor. This part is the easiest part to quest through, and to be honest, the only annoying bit is the intro questline, which you can skip, but it's a tedious process. Not skipping it can set you up with your garrison, which is useful for other things, plus you still get XP doing the intro. Start with the quest suggested by Azeroth Autopilot and pick every single treasure you walk or fly by. Don't pick up unnecessary quests. When you finish the major quest lines, you should be around 93, And with the garrison at level 2, which is important because you can buy the XP potion for 100 resources. After this, move on to Gorgrond and continue following the arrow add-on. Loot all the treasures, do bonus objectives, and you can use the XP potions to match with this. One neat little trick: when you reach 99 and are close to 100, pop the last XP potion and do the rest of the bonus objectives even if you pass 100. They will still give you more XP than the Legion equivalents. Before starting Legion, make sure to skip intro quest from the guy that gives you the quest. After you got your legendary weapon, head to High Mountain first and clear the entire zone. After High Mountain, move to Val Shara and do the quest until you kill Ysera, then do the Brandon's Brook quest to completion. After you are done, go to Azuna and finish questing until you are 110. Getting into BFA should be easy at this point. After you are done with the intro quest, head on to Vol'dun as Horde. Follow the Azeroth autopilot add-on that should walk you through the main quests you want to complete. After Vol'dun, go to Zuldazar and finish with Nazmir. Usually I'm 120 by the time I finish Zuldazar, so the ride should be smooth. As Alliance, you start with Drustvar and continue onwards to Tiragard Sound and finish with Stormsong Valley. Not all the bonus objectives in BFA are time worth, so the ones that seem really out of the way, it's a very good chance that they are, so you can ignore them, but it's optional. Ding! You're 120. And speaking of things that go ding, you're probably a subscriber already, right? Right? Well, YouTube doesn't think that's enough, so enable those bell notifications as well if you liked the video. And that way, all our new stuff will go straight to your inbox and feed and, well, you know the rest. This last part is more of a personal advice on my part. It can work for you or it cannot, so take everything here with a grain of salt. Once you collect 35 different heirlooms, you'll get the Shafford Chopper, which is a small mount that you can use until level 20 when you get your faster mount. This will help you through the initial stages if you aren't leveling an allied race. Have War Mode on enabled for extra XP and eventual rewards, especially since this guide focuses on questing. I haven't tested how efficient it is, but once in a while I would queue for a dungeon for those first time quests you have while inside, especially if I could fill the tank or healer role. It breaks me from the monotony of questing. If you have the possibility, you can use guild banners when doing bonus objectives or fighting in a crowded area to increase the overall XP from killing stuff. Also, do assaults and invasions, especially in BFA for that 1 hour XP buff. Time walking dungeons have also proved to be a good source of XP once you get bored with questing. Also helps you generate time warp badges. I included the major things you need to speed up your leveling, but there are a lot of tiny corners you can cut to shave off minutes and maybe hours more. That, plus a lot of information in this guide, was graciously provided by DesMephisto, an amazing leveler who has more maxed out characters than you and I put together. I urge you to visit his twitch.tv/DesMephisto and his YouTube with the same name and show the man some much deserved love. If you are leveling to catch up with the game and have been wondering what is new, then check our latest on Cooldown video where Marcelian and I walk you through the weekly happenings of WoW. Shout out to our patrons who are supporting our content and making most of this possible. Check the details down below and see how you can join our Patreon team and get some little perks along the way. Or complete your heirloom set with some MarcelianOnline merch branded with Warcrafty goodness down on our official Teespring link below. T-shirt, tank tops, hoodies and mugs, you name it, as long as you name these. Thanks for watching the video and have an awesome day.